Hey there, it's Dusty with yet another story for you. This one comes from AITA and is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Enforcing My House Rules on My Wife's Brother? My male 30 brother-in-law, male 20, Sean, moved in with me and his sister after my father-in-law passed away a few months ago. With me and his sister. Your wife? That's a weird way to say that, right? Hey, hello, this is Sarah's sister. It's like, or my wife. I don't know.
I'm your best friend.
My wife. All right. He is the private type and keeps to himself. He goes out and never says where he's going or how long he'll be out, eats at random times during the day, wears earbuds while me and the kids are sitting with him. See, all of these are uncool behaviors and a bad influence to my children. I'm confused by that. I've already talked to Sean about certain house rules I have and how he was violating them, maybe because he didn't know, but now he knows, and still nothing's changed. Last night he came home late around 10 p.m. I wasn't thrilled with that because he knew the rules, but he said that he was an adult and I shouldn't be policing him, but it's not about that. It's about the fact that he's repeatedly disrespected the homeowner and the rules. So I told him this, if you won't respect the rules, which are be home at 8, not eating at random times, and not using his electronics, just like my kids aren't allowed when the family is gathered to spend time together. He's not your kid, OP! I knew we were going in the wrong direction with an NTA, I just didn't know how wrong we were going. He ranted about how he wasn't my child and called me unreasonable to treat him this way just because he lives under my roof. I told him it's not hard to show respect, really, but my wife went off asking what was wrong with me to be giving Sean, who's still grieving, ultimatums and treating him like a child. I explained to her that I'm just making sure the kids won't be influenced by her brother's reckless behavior, and she laughed, asking if I think Sean being on his phone was reckless, but that is besides the point. That's what you say when someone's right? That's beside the point. We're not talking about that. She called me a control freak and told me to get off her brother's back and leave him alone. I replied that she's just saying this because he's her brother, but she said I overstepped and should back off and stop trying to control her adult brother. I asked her if she was happy with him coming home late, and she said she was sick of arguing, then went upstairs. Am I the astronaut here? Yep. Yep. Look, number one, if you're going to try to create these unreasonable rules, you have to inform someone and communicate this with them before they make the decision to move in with you. I understand you guys are doing him a favor by giving him a place to stay, but before offering that, if there's going to be this kind of expectation here, this is what we call creating clear expectations, right? So you would have a duty to communicate this before offering him the ability to stay at your place. Now, I know he's going to say, well, I wasn't part of that conversation. My wife did that. Then you should have communicated this to your wife so she could communicate it to him before he made the decision to come stay with you. You can't just let someone come stay with you and be like, all right, now that you're here are the rules. We get up at 4 a.m. We go out in the backyard with no clothes. We pick up rocks for 4 hours. We come back inside. We bathe ourselves. We bathe each other. We make lunch for 2 hours. We then take a 1-hour nap. Then we get up, put clothes on finally, and go back in the yard and pick up sticks for the rest of the day. When the sun sets, we create a fire. We huddle around that fire, and then we go to sleep. This isn't the colony house from From. And not even that. The colony house was like, do whatever you want. Just don't be a dick. He's not your kid. He's not your employee. He's not your cult member. He's not you have no power over him except to say, get out. And even that, you don't have total power to do.
You don't do that at our house.
All that, Sergeant McDusty, that was oddly specific. All that shit just came straight from my brain. Just make it up as you say it. That's hard. Caden Thunder, From is the best show, except for it doesn't make any sense. Neither does this, right? This doesn't make any sense at all. And, okay, having the delusion that you have this kind of power over another human being and trying to enforce it without giving them prior notice, like, the audacity of this dude, which begs the question, like, how does he treat people outside of his home? How does this guy interact with society at large? Like, how does this work for him in daily life? How is he able to survive? It's just bonkers. It's bonkers. Everybody's worked for a bad manager. This is a control freak, bad manager who wants puppet strings, wants to be the puppeteer. We got a real Geppetto in the flesh here. Interesting. Yes, ASCOM 1. And this requires a certain amount of delusion. Has Buddy never had a house guest? Also, this gives you a lot of insight into how he treats his kids, too. How's he going to handle his kids growing up? Those kids are going to become teenagers.
You, sir, have clearly never dealt with a teenager before, but you will. They will test you, and they will bend you, and they will break you.